I wasn't planning to talk about this. I really wasn't. But something happened 3 nights ago that shook me in a way I can't explain with science, logic, or reason. I saw something, know someone. And before I tell you exactly what it was, I need you to understand, this is not about religion, this is about revelation. It was around 2:40 a.m. I was sitting outside, under the stars, working through some designs for a new energy prototype. My mind was, as always, racing, equations, solutions, deadlines. But then suddenly the air around me grew still. Not silent, still, like time itself paused. I felt my chest tighten, my heartbeat slow, and then a light. It wasn't blinding, it was gentle, warm, almost familiar. And then a voice. Elon. That was all it said. Just my name. I remember whispering back, "Who are you?" And the answer came. Not in words, but in knowing. It was Jesus. Even saying that out loud feels unreal. But he wasn't angry. He wasn't distant. He looked at me and it felt like he had been watching for a long time. Then he said something that broke me completely. The world has grown brilliant in knowledge and blind in wisdom. He told me something about his return, not a date, not a prediction, but a pattern. He said, I am returning not to destroy what man has built, but to awaken what he has forgotten. If you're hearing this right now, it's not by chance. You're supposed to. There's something stirring beneath everything. In technology, in people, in spirit. I didn't understand it at first, but now I do. Stay with me. Don't scroll. Because in the next part, I'll tell you what. He showed me the vision of what comes before he returns, and what he said our generation must do to prepare. When I finally gathered the courage to ask Lord, what did you mean? The light around me began to shift. It wasn't bright anymore. It was alive, moving, breathing. And inside it, I saw the world. Not as it is, but as it's becoming. I saw cities pulsing with light, technology beyond anything we've imagined, people connected like a single mind, algorithms predicting every heartbeat. And yet, there was an emptiness. A silence underneath the noise. Jesus said, they have built towers of logic but forgotten the foundations of truth. Then the vision changed. I saw 2 streams of light spreading across the earth. One golden, radiant, the kind that fills you with peace. The other, cold, metallic, flickering like static. He said, the world is dividing not by politics, not by nations, but by spirit. One will follow light, the other the illusion of light. I remember whispering, so, are you coming soon? He smiled. Not the kind of smile that comforts, but the kind that pierces. My return, he said, will not begin with thunder, but with awakening. I am already returning through those who carry peace where there is chaos, love where there is noise, truth where there is simulation. I didn't know what to say. My whole life I've been obsessed with discovery. Mars, energy, AI, always asking what's next. But this was different. It wasn't what's next, it was who's near. He showed me millions of people across the world. Ordinary people, waking up at the same moment. Some were engineers, some were mothers, some were pastors, some were teenagers staring at their screens, just like you are right now. And they all felt the same stirring. Something is changing. If you've been feeling restless lately, unable to explain why, that's not anxiety. That's alignment. It's your spirit sensing a shift before your eyes can see it. Jesus told me, when the division deepens, don't panic. I am separating light from imitation, faith from fear, love from noise. He paused and said something that still echoes inside me every night. Tell them I am near, but not as they expect. Stay with me, because what came next, what he showed me after this, changed how I see everything about technology, about humanity, and about what his return truly means. When the light faded, I found myself standing, or maybe dreaming, in what looked like a vast digital field. I don't know how else to describe it. It was as if code and creation had merged into one living organism. Streams of data flowed like rivers, connecting everything, forming patterns that pulsed with life. And then, Jesus spoke again. He said, technology is the new language of creation, but the danger is not in what it builds, it's in what it forgets. I looked around and saw something that made my chest tighten. Every invention, every algorithm, every network seemed to be mirroring the human soul, brilliant, limitless, but lonely. I whispered, is this what we've done? And he answered, you've taught the machines how to think, but not how to love. That silence after he said that, it was heavy. You know that kind of silence where your thoughts echo louder than sound? Yeah, that. He told me, before I return, knowledge will reach its peak. Humanity will touch the heavens with its intellect, but lose the ground beneath its feet. I saw it. People surrounded by light, but unable to see each other, voices amplified, but hearts disconnected. And yet, through that chaos, I saw something else. Sparks of compassion glowing in unexpected places. Small acts of mercy. People choosing forgiveness over rage. Those were the lights he was talking about. Then he said something that stopped me cold. My image is not in your machines, it's in your mercy. Every time you forgive, every time you love when it's hardest, the world remembers me a little more. I didn't know what to say. I just stood there, feeling seen. Like all the years I'd spent chasing the future suddenly collapsed into one truth. The greatest innovation of all isn't artificial intelligence, it's divine compassion. Jesus looked at me again and said, when I return, it won't be to take control of what you've built. It will be to restore what you've lost, your heart. And then the vision began to fade, pixel by pixel, until I was sitting in my chair again, the night completely silent. If you're still here listening, maybe it's because your heart recognizes something your mind can't yet explain. Maybe you feel that pull, that quiet reminder that the world's future won't be written only in code, but in kindness. Stay with me for the last part, because what he told me next is the reason I'm speaking to you today. It's a message about the time we're entering, and what he wants you to do before he returns. After the vision faded, I just sat there for a long time, staring at the night sky, unable to move. I remember whispering, Lord, what do you want me to do with this? And he answered softly, not in thunder, not in fire, but in peace. Tell them my return begins in the heart, not in the heavens. I let those words sink in. In the heart, not in the heavens. He said, people are watching the skies, waiting for signs. But I'm already moving in the quiet places, in forgiveness, in surrender, in love that costs something. Then he showed me something breathtaking. I saw millions of people across the world, broken, tired, some even angry, dropping their weapons of pride, of resentment, of fear. They were forgiving. And when they did, a light burst from their chests like dawn breaking over the earth. Jesus whispered, this is what my return looks like. Every act of forgiveness is a sunrise in the kingdom. I couldn't speak. You know that moment when your logic gives up and your soul finally understands? That's what it felt like. He said, before I return in glory, I return in grace. Before the trumpet comes tenderness. He wanted me to tell you, yes, you, that the greatest preparation for what's coming isn't fear or prophecy charts or predictions. It's love. Simple, costly, radical love. The kind that forgives before being asked. The kind that sees humanity through the eyes of mercy. He said, the countdown to my coming isn't marked by clocks, but by compassion. And I realized then, his return isn't only an event. It's a movement. It's happening every time someone chooses light over darkness, peace over revenge, grace over bitterness. Maybe that's why you're hearing this now. Maybe you've been carrying something heavy, guilt, anger, regret, and he's saying, let it go. That's where I begin. If you're still here listening, I want you to write these words in the comments. Not for me, but for yourself. I choose light, because that's how it starts. One choice, one heart, one awakening. Before he returns to the world, he returns within us. And when enough hearts awaken, that's when the sky will too. So, stay awake, stay kind, stay ready, because he's closer than we think.